Bill O'Reilly, welcome to the program. Where am I wrong on the G7 summit?
Well, it does matter to the American people that we get hosed in our trade deals all over the world. And as always, Trump goes in there and he sees 8 years of Barack Obama and then 8 years before that of George W. Bush doing absolutely nothing and having these unbelievable trade imbalances rise and rise and rise. So Trump isn't wrong by saying that the United States gets hammered in trade with all of these foreign countries. He's right. We do. But then he goes in and instead of saying to them, look, we can do it the hard way or the easy way, the easy way is that you do take firm steps and take more of our goods, or I can threaten tariffs and threaten to come over and build a golf course in your country, that kind of thing.
I would like that one better than tariffs.
Yeah,
hey, Canada,
that would scare him.
He's going to start building golf courses.
But you're right, and Americans don't care. They don't know what G7 is. I feel sorry for Putin. It used to be G8, but once Putin's murder rate got over 100,000, they booted him out.
Right.
So it's the G7, and they're up there, and they're all inclusive except for Vladimir.
Now, do you mind if it was the? Would you mind if it was the G6?
Who do you want to boot?
Us.
I don't. Look, all I want is good things for the American people and the economy here.
Right.
I think ultimately Trump will get his better trade status already. China says, "Well, we'll buy $90 billion more a year of U.S. goods already." And he'll get that up to like 125 or something like that. And then he'll drop the tariffs. That's what he always does. And so the Europeans are saber rattling for their own people. They know that they'll make a deal. Trump may have to get an LBGT person to make the deal for him. That's all he's got to do is bring in somebody of that stature.
Listen to Bill O'Reilly for Bill O'Reilly once again with his hate, leaving off the queue for questioning. There's 2 queues now, so he's got the first queue, but not the second queue.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Bill O'Reilly. Bill, I am more concerned about the tariffs than you are, of course. However, I will tell you there's something else going on that Trump has. That Trump is capable of using, and that is the sell-off of the balance sheet from the Fed. It is killing countries all around the world, and they're getting a double whammy right now. Should we do anything about that? I don't think we should, but do you think we should do anything about the sell-off of the Fed for the chase of U.S. dollars?
This is unbelievable macroeconomics by Glenn Beck, everyone. Are you processing this? This is incredible. I have no blanket idea, Beck. I don't even know what you said.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm a geek on this, and I know I'm a geek on this.
I'm very impressive.
Yeah.
Can you do it in your Macron accent?
Oh, of course I can. You are sucking up and soaking up all of the reserve currency. We cannot afford to lose these dollars. All right. So, Bill, let me go to this.
Yeah.
Your latest tweet has been on the Inspector General Michael Horowitz. Give me your thoughts.
This is such a dodge. So next Thursday, Trump's birthday, the Justice Department finally going to put out its report, only it's not going to put out its full report, just the Hillary Clinton stuff, not the Russian collusion stuff. I'm going, wait a minute. How long do you need to put out an initial report on the FBI in both matters? But they're not going to do the Russians, just Hillary. We all know the FBI, the fix was in. We all know that, okay? That's what it's going to say. It's not going to say it that harshly, but it's going to say that Comey and McCabe, the 2 top-ranking FBI officials, went light on Hillary Clinton. They held back stuff. They exonerated her before she was interviewed. They didn't put her people under oath. They allowed Susan Rice to be in, who's a suspect in the case, to be in the interview. It's insane. There's like 50 things. Then they're going to say McCabe lied to FBI agents. He'll be charged. He's going to be charged, okay? But Comey, he'll kind of fly above it in this netherworld unless McCabe turns on Comey, which is absolutely possible if they squeeze him, if the Justice Department squeezes him. Meantime, we don't know anything about Mueller and Russian collusion.
Okay, so hang on. May I play devil's advocate here?
Yes.
Could it actually be good that we are not getting the Trump and the Clinton stuff at the same time because the media would only focus on the Trump stuff and completely bury the Clinton stuff?
No, but the media can't focus on the Trump stuff unless there's something there.
No, I know that. That's what I mean. So if we're getting the Hillary stuff first, doesn't that give it enough air to have maybe a little bit of a flame in the media?
Doubt it. The media is this is a one-day story for them, and then they'll tuck it away, and it'll be, well, she doesn't really matter. But the corruption of the FBI is hurting the country, and that's what I always come back to. I want the best for the American people. You got a president who's going to go over to Singapore and try to negotiate this little rocket man out of blowing up the world, okay? That's pretty serious, I'd say. Well, what is CNN and the New York Times concentrating on? Mueller, Russia. Donald Jr. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. So what they could do was put this in a place where it would be harder to use Mueller as a cudgel, word of the day, on Trump. Because Mueller doesn't have anything on Trump. He doesn't. But why the Justice Department isn't doing this is because it embarrasses Rod Rosenstein. He appointed Mueller. And it undercuts Mueller if he ever did come up with something. So they don't want to do that. It's all politics, Beck, not looking out for the folks.
Bill, I'm going to take a break. And when we come back, will you take the American people through the McCabe story? And what do you think is going to happen, and what it really means?
Okay.
And then also I want to get into your article, your latest op-ed, also on BillO'Reilly.com, called The News Snooze. New research shows that people are worn out by the news, and we've talked about it internally here in the last couple of days, and what we think it means, and who it's talking about, and why we are fatigued by the news. But we'll get your opinion in just a minute when we come back.
Glenn Beck.
All right, Bill, here's how I think a lot of Americans feel. And the Pew Research report, which we'll get into later, kind of verifies that people are just exhausted by the news. So when the McCabe thing comes out, I think there's a lot of people that are kind of interested in it, actually probably really interested in it, but they haven't really been following it because they just don't think it's going to make any difference, even though it's going to turn out to be really good for the conservatives. If you're playing politics, it's going to be really good, really bad for the Clintons, bad for the Democrats, bad for the press, but nothing's going to happen. So I haven't been following it. So fill me in, Bill O'Reilly.
Well, it's going to be tough not to indict Andrew McCabe for lying to the FBI. Since you already did that to the National Security Advisor for the Trump administration, it's equal justice for all. Mm-hmm. So what happened there was that McCabe, second in command to Comey, that means that he had hands-on responsibility for the Hillary Clinton email situation, because that's always the way it is. It's always the second guy who does the day-to-day, and then Comey floats above it. He does his little meetings with everybody. He goes out on the road, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. All right, so McCabe then apparently gets orders from the Obama administration through Attorney General Loretta Lynch. There's not a smoking gun. I don't think you're going to see a memo to that. It's basically, look, this is a low-level beef. Let's try to wrap it up quickly. That's code for, hey, we don't want to see her in chains. That's the way it goes in the government. When you hear the word, let's wrap it up quickly in any government office, that's the message to the person. We don't really want to pursue this any further. Mm-hmm. That's what McCabe got from Loretta Lynch. Okay? So McCabe knows he's in big trouble. Now, McCabe is second in command of the FBI. His wife runs as a Democrat for, I think it was the House of Representatives in Virginia. I think it was. And gets a lot of money from the Clintons' best friend, Terry McAuliffe, so there's a personal connection. There's all kinds of connections here, right? And the Obama administration surely didn't want the Democratic presidential nominee to have to be arrested. That wouldn't be good, Beck. That's not a good thing.
Right.
All right. So all of this is going to come out, but in words that are fuzzy. So Michael Horowitz is going to say to the Senate Judiciary Committee, well, you know, they could have been more aggressive and they held back stuff and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. The Republicans will wail on them and the Democrats will try to make excuses. So that's where we are right now. But I think Andrew McCabe will be indicted. I don't see how he can't be indicted for lying.
So I go back to my original question. Okay, so he's indicted, but
yes,
nothing really changes. Loretta Lynn. I mean, we can all draw our own conclusions to what was said, you know, on the tarmac, what was really going on, why the language of the memo was changed, you know, all of that stuff. But we're never really going to hold anybody responsible for any of that, are we?
Well, except for McCabe, right?
Yeah, well,
and if McCabe flips on Comey, which is entirely possible, because the Justice Department doesn't like Comey, then you is
Comey still, is that a big fish? I mean, I know it's a bigger fish, but it's not really those guys are still working for people.
Here's why it's a big fish. If you can establish that the second in command at the FBI is a liar and the fix was in the Hillary Clinton investigation, then you can't do anything to Donald Trump at all, or anybody associated with Donald Trump.
But wait. That's not what I... But
people were investigating.
Right, but that's not what I think people are looking for. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Bill.
What do you think the folks want, Beck?
Real justice. They want real
if McCabe
justice.
is indicted, he goes to trial.
But what you just said was, look, if you do that, then you can't do anything to Donald Trump. No, I want to know if these guys, if the fix was in for Hillary Clinton, then good. So then what is the truth? Let's put those people away and what was the actual truth?
The actual truth is that Hillary Clinton did not secure classified information. That's the truth. That's a crime.
But nothing's going to happen. But nothing will happen to them.
Well, not to her.
Yeah.
Because she's already been exonerated.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the truth. You want to know the truth? She didn't secure classified information as Secretary of State for her own personal reasons. That's the truth. That's the case.
All right. You know, and the press will leave that one alone. But if you try to use that same thing and say, well, but now you can't go after Trump, they're not going to leave this alone until they're just untimely death. They're just burning down. It's group suicide in the media. They just don't see what they're doing to themselves. Back in just a second.
Glenn Beck, Mercury. This is the Glenn Beck program.
Bill O'Reilly. Let's go to the whistleblower or the leak that has been found now. A 26-year-old girl from the New York Times that was sleeping with a 50-year-old guy who was, on the Senate Intelligence Committee. She has tweeted, like in 2013, about, hey, is anybody interested in like a Zoe Barnes relationship? Just totally kidding. Well, no, apparently she wasn't. And so now the press is saying, oh my gosh, what a victim. What a victim. Okay, Bill. All right. I understand. Okay. Yeah.
Ollie the Terror Dog strikes again.
Okay.
Look,
so what do you think of this?
This is usual for these for these media outlets. There's all kinds of stuff going on that is corrupt. I'm fired up on this. I wrote a column on it, as you kindly mentioned, on BillO'Reilly.com, by saying that not only are Americans fatigued, but the whole business is collapsing. The whole journalism business, and you can see that the establishment knows it, which is they fight back so hard now at all their little parties and conventions. Oh, we're the defenders of freedom. Let's give us awards. We need more awards. But, you have a system now where the Trump administration, and this comes from Sessions, who's not going to be around much longer, by the way, as Attorney General, these leaks, they're going to hold people accountable for them. And, if they have to subpoena reporters, they will. And if they have to spy on reporters, they will. Because they should. We can't run a government when we have one-way leaks.
Wait. We should spy on reporters?
On reporters, if there is evidence of a crime.
Wait, I can't.
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up.
Sorry. If there is evidence of a crime, you have to have evidence of a crime. And leaking classified information is a crime. So they go to a judge. The judge looks at the evidence and says, wire the reporter. You have a problem with that?
As somebody who has gone through litigation involving the U.S. government, the government can claim anything is classified. The government can claim all kinds of things, and you have no recourse.
Look, I'm skeptical too. Oh.
Hello? We missed you. You're skeptical too.
How can you stop? The leaks are all one way. And the way they go is destroy the President of the United States. Okay, that is what the leaks are. It was just like destroy Bill O'Reilly. Okay, so we'll say things to the
Bill, this is so frustrating. Do you have a landline? Maybe we can take it.
It's the dog's fault. The dog got him into another room, and now we're losing his connection. And perhaps someone in the government is spying on him. That could also be what's going on.
But I would agree with that of Bill O'Reilly because he's a danger.
Yeah, he is a danger. That's true.
Hello, Bill, are you there?
We'll have to reconnect.
We lost him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little issue there with the connection. It's an interesting point because, James Rosen at Fox News was targeted as well by the government, and they looked into his private messages. I think Bill is back
comfortable with that. Bill, what's
I'm back. I'm sorry.
That's
I
all
have
right.
to apologize. It's all my fault. The dog is running wild here.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Stu has got to come over. Stu is a dog whisperer.
Right. Yes.
You've got to come over and whisper into this terror dog's head.
So Bill, what is the difference between this and James Rosen?
Okay, the difference is that Rosen, and I know this case very, very well, Rosen was not doing anything politically driven, all right? So you basically have a system now where all of these leaks are designed to do one thing, remove a sitting president. It's subversive. It's not journalism. It's subversive, all right? So let's leak stuff to any vehicle we know hates Trump, and they'll just print the leaks.
So wait, Bill.
Yeah.
This is the situation that I was in. I was given classified documents by government sources that showed corruption. The government would not release any of that information, would not verify any of that information. I had testimony from people who risked their lives to be able to get this out.
That's a totally different situation.
How? It's the same thing.
No, it isn't the same thing.
Obama could have said easily, this is one-way leak. Glenn Beck has been after us forever. This is just a hatchet job.
You actually had people, all right, who you could point to giving you information that could be verified. Okay?
I could no. Wait. I could not while I was doing it. I could not.
In order for there to be a warrant on you, and I don't even remember, was there a warrant? I don't think
there was not. No, there was not. No, it was a.
Okay,
I was I went to court, sued by somebody who said that wasn't me, and that's all a lie. I had government documents that showed, yes, it was. The government didn't come after me, but the government would not release any information. And so I had no case without that.
It's a different situation, though, because you basically were reporting a story given to you by a verifiable source. You needed backup. The government wouldn't do it because they didn't like you. If you had been with the New York Times, they would have leaked its stuff out and saved their butts. This is different. This is basically there are leakers inside the Trump administration that know they can go to reporters who will print anything they tell them without verification, anonymous sources, doesn't have to be true. Time after time after time, it isn't true. It isn't true. Yet it's the lead story, and CNN panel gets on, what do you make of this? Oh, it has to be true. I mean, this is really dangerous to a free society. You just can't have this. And the Justice Department's responsibility to, if they believe this is a contrived political subversion, to make a case on it.
And it does appear that the guy did lie to the FBI about whether he was contacting these particular reporters. So that's
the investigation is the investigation. I can't do that for them. But I am sensitive to the fact that you don't want the government raiding newsrooms. But let's get back to the original premise of my column on BillO'Reilly.com. Journalism's collapsed. It's not that the American public are tired. They're sick and tired.
Okay, so here's
you're absolutely correct. They don't even know what they're doing to themselves. They don't even know when Trump leaves office, nobody's going to watch TV news anymore.
Okay, so
why would you?
You're right. They're killing themselves. But let's not kill ourselves with them. You know, the founders were quite clear on freedom of the press. In fact, if I could quote Hay, he said, say that the citizen and the press should have the right to say everything which his passions suggest. He may employ all of his time, all of his talents, if he is wicked enough to do so in speaking against the government in matters that are false, scandalous, and malicious, and still be safe within the sanctuary of the press, even if he condemns the principle of Republican institutions. Blah, 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 blah. However upright he may say these things, to the basest motives, even if he ascribes to them measures and acts which never had existence, thus violating at once every principle of decency and truth.
Who is that man?
Hey.
I would have executed him. Right there on the spot.
He actually was forwarding the winning argument.
All right. So what this more, and believe me, he had no idea about cable and about internet and about all of this. What this guy's actually saying is, look, you can destroy any American citizen by leaking false stories about them that will be printed, and their whole lives will be ruined, and that's okay.
No, press and the government. This is about the government. This is not about...
Who's going to regulate the press? Nobody regulates the press, Beck. There's only one entity that can do it. That if you violate national security laws and you leak stuff that you are commanded not to leak by law, you can be investigated. Look, you didn't have any recourse and I didn't have any recourse when we were attacked falsely. We couldn't defend ourselves, against this onslaught of BS. All right, that's it. Government can't do anything to help us. But if you're subverting the government by falsely printing things that you know aren't true and you don't even care to check out for the only intent of removing the president of the United States, that is sedition. And it has to be investigated.
Doesn't the First Amendment, though, Bill, pretty much guarantee that the government is not going to regulate the press?
It's not about regulating the press. It's about setting standards for people working for government, leaking classified information.
Right. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, so now hang on just a second. Then this is a different story. If you're not going after the member of the press, okay. If you're going...
they're just being investigated to try to nail the subversive within the government that's illegally leaking the national security stuff. That's what's going on. I'd like to put everybody in jail, every dishonest journalist in jail. I'd love to do that. I'd love to put on every dishonest teacher, but we can't, all right, because they always say, it's my opinion or whatever. But, look, we're coming to a point in this country where one of the institutions set up to protect us, we the people, has fallen apart. It's corrupt, all right? It doesn't look for the truth. It doesn't care about the truth.
I agree with you.
And that's the column I wrote on BillO'Reilly.com. You can just look, turn on that cable television, and listen to this propaganda day in and day out. Stacked decks all over the place, garbage that's reported that isn't true, no retractions, couldn't care less. I mean, it's just unbelievable to watch it happen.
Right. And that's why I kind of like to watch it, because it's a fire burning itself down. I don't want to be an arsonist setting fires in my own camp. I don't want to be setting fires to the Constitution. It will burn itself. It'll burn itself to the ground. It will.
I agree 100%. But unlike you, I can't watch it. I get so angry, and I'm sitting here going, here's this person being paid $1 million. What do you make of that?
I get just as angry as you do, but what are you going to do?
I'm doing what I can on running my own operation on BillO'Reilly.com, just as you are on the Blaze.
And you're doing well, and you're doing good, and we're
doing great.
Yeah, and go ahead.
We have to fight it now in the precincts of individuality.
Yes.
I mean, I've had plenty of offers to come back on television, all right? But I'm not going to do it unless I believe that whoever's hiring me is going to stand behind me, all right, and is going to fight this stuff, because I'm going to have to take these people on. It is so corrupt, I can't tell you. Well, I don't have to tell you, because you know. But your listeners should know that what was set up to protect them, a press that would inform them honestly, is gone. It's gone. Thank you, Barack Obama. Thank you, Donald Trump. Both presidents drove that. Obama on the favorable side and Trump on the negative side.
Now, Bill, I want to change topics because you're even more fired up than your dog now, and that's not healthy. That's not.
Don't know if you're eating the same thing.
I gave the dog some money. He's out. She's out getting a burger.
I want to see Bill, if you're coming down for the museum next week with all of the Nazi SS stuff that's going to be here. You've got the big book coming out, Killing the SS. Really excited about that. I mean, any chance you're coming down to check the museum out?
I can't come down next week because I'm just inundated here, but I'm going to try to get a private showing of this.
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
Here's the problem: if I come down to Dallas, where you guys are, right? Yeah. Then you guys are going to want to hang with me.
No, we really won't.
How to handle
nope,
that, you know?
Nope, not a chance. Wouldn't happen. Bill O'Reilly, author of the new book, Killing the SS, The Hunt for the Worst War Criminals in History. It comes out September 18th. Thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate it.
Talk soon.
You bet. Bye-bye.
We will make America great again.